we out here. What's up, Michael? we have to make hello Lexi. Update, everyone hates me.
I love Lexi. Is this her phone?
Yes.
Why do you have it?
She has my phone.
Oh.
Our teacher's gone. We're just sitting here chilling.
Chilling in Cedar Rapids.
Chilling.
Chilling in Cedar Rapids.
Hi, Dana. Yes, in a new update from police, they did confirm that there was a 6th person on the lease, but they do not believe that individual was at the house during the time of the attack.
It didn't appear that there was any forced entry into the residence. There were survivors of this. And then as well, based on the evidence internally at the scene, that has led detectives to believe and continue to believe that this was a targeted event.
In response to comments made by Latah County Prosecutor Bill Thompson, who said in an interview that the home of the victims and specifically 1 or 2 of the roommates may have been targeted. That alone is what police say they are clarifying, telling CNN, "We remain consistent in our belief that this was indeed a targeted attack, but have not concluded if the target was the residence or its occupants." Who said in an interview that the home of the victims and specifically 1 or 2 of the roommates may have been targeted.
Many people are speculating on who was the intended target in this case. If we can find the intended victim, then maybe we can find more clues. The killer was allegedly there for 1 person, but killed 4 and spared 2. Why would the killer spare 2, and who were the accidental casualties for being around the intended target? Who do you believe was the intended target in this case? I think we were focused on Kaylee Gonsalves because of the coroner reports, her popularity on social media. But what if the intended target was the best friend, Maddie?
I think that he at least had opened that door, went in, tested the waters, looked around.
Steve says the coroner told him the killer's rampage started on the 3rd floor, where both Maddie and Kaylee had their bedrooms. Christy thinks he wasn't expecting to find the 2 friends together in the same bed.
I do think that his plan went awry. I do think that, he intended to kill 1 and killed 4. At point he said there were 4 victims. And I said, 4? And he said, yes, ma'am. I said, can you tell us if one of the victims was Maddie Mogan? And he said, yes, ma'am.
Maddie Mogan, Kaylee's best friend from childhood.
So Kaylee and Maddie would both come in very happy, very friendly. They always were just such a smile on their face. Just like pretty much you would say they're the light of the world, pretty much. Always happy, go lucky. They always came in just chatting. They always came with a group, like I said. They probably I'd say 4 or 5 girls at most, all the time. They come in together. And I made a joke about it earlier. It was like, hey, coming in together and stuff like that. It's nice to see you girls trying to stay safe. One of them more or less openly says, oh yeah, we've had a friend of ours be stalked before, so this is kind of why we all travel in a group like this. And just
was it Kaylee who said that? Do you remember?
No, it was Maddie who actually said that. So Maddie said it, and it was kind of like more mentioning, motioning to Kaylee too, who was right next to her. So
Christy and Steve spoke to coroner Kathy Mabbitt before the gag order was issued, and they say she told them how the 2 friends were positioned in the bed.
The bed was up against the wall. The headboard was touching the wall, and the left side of the bed was touching the wall. And we believe that Maddie was on the outside and Kaylee was on the inside.
According to coroner Mabbitt, the killer's first victim was Maddie, says Steve. And then from Maddie, he moved on to your daughter. You believe she had awakened at that point?
Yes.
Yeah, there's evidence to show that she awakened and tried to get out of that situation.
The way the bed was set up is what...
She was trapped.
She was trapped.
Brianna Fox also believes Xana and Ethan were collateral damage. According to the affidavit, Xana received a DoorDash food delivery at 4 a.m., then went back to her room on the 2nd floor. It's possible, says Fox, that Xana, still awake, came face to face with the killer.
And she sees somebody that she doesn't expect, and I don't think he was expecting to see her either.
One of the two surviving roommates, Dylan Mortensen, later told the police that she heard what she thought was crying coming from Xana's room. She heard a male voice say something to the effect, "It's okay, I'm going to help you." Not something a killer would likely say to an intended target, says Fox.
He probably was trying to make a split-second decision. Do I run away? Do I kill her? What do I do? And he decided to kill her.
Dylan, the surviving roommate, whose bedroom was near Xana's, opened the door.
According to the police affidavit, when Dylan opens the door, she saw a man dressed in black with a black mask, and she says he has bushy eyebrows. Those bushy eyebrows become very important when the police are making their identification.
Dylan, the surviving roommate, told investigators she locked herself in her room. It would be almost 8 hours before 911 was called, causing an uproar on social media criticizing Dylan's alleged inaction.
And that's when she sees the figure coming towards her. Now, this has been a big bone of contention for a lot of people. Why, if you saw some shadowy, terrifying figure walking towards you, would you just close your door and go back to bed and not call the police? And the characterization to the source who spoke directly with her after the murders is that she didn't think that that figure was anything other than just part of the horsing around. Maybe one of the partiers, maybe somebody who was a friend of one of the other roommates that was making all the noise.
The man with the bushy eyebrows kept walking to the rear of the house without harming Dylan.
Why was Dylan not killed? Again, there's no definitive answer. He didn't kill her because he didn't see her. He was sort of transfixed on getting out. He didn't kill her because he was satiated.
But Brianna Fox says it's not unusual for people to freeze or be too afraid to intervene.
She had no reason to, know how to handle herself in that moment.
The identity of the 911 caller and the 911 call have not been released.
We are now learning there were other friends in the house when police arrived. Around town, there are flyers pleading for help posted everywhere.
How was Bryan Kohberger's car spotted leaving the scene? Why was his cell phone seen there 12 times, including the morning after the offense?
The prosecution would like everyone to believe that it's an open and shut case. But I think the facts they have make the case more open than open and shut. According to the defense, there is no connection whatsoever between Bryan Kohberger and the victims. And if there is no connection, then there is no motive. And if there is no motive, then it becomes very hard to make the case that he is the killer. And this is a graduate student, not a trained assassin.
It's more so about putting these pieces together because I know what the puzzle looks like at the end. I have the box in front of me, but I'm missing so many pieces.
Xana Kernodle's family has set up a scholarship in her name at the University of Idaho.
Did you feel any relief, Sydney, when there was the announcement of an arrest?
Yeah, definitely a little bit. I still think there's a lot of answers that I would like. So until I get those, I think I still am going to be a little hung up on this. So just about the answer.
That's not where you are.
No.
Yeah, that's fine.
I don't think there's any slam dunk. The defense is not necessarily having to prove that he's innocent. They just have to raise doubt.
Both Fox and Howard Bloom think the defense can find ways to poke holes in the prosecution's case, challenging some of the key evidence presented in the affidavit, including the cell phone location data and the white Elantra.
There's other concerns, such as whether Bryan Kohberger's car was accurately identified at the onset, or if that was revised after knowing what Bryan Kohberger drove.
The cell phone data makes one suspicious of Kohberger, but it's not convincing. It's not putting someone at someone's doorstep, it's putting someone in someone's neighborhood. If you can raise doubts about the validity and the accuracy of the cell phone data, I think you're halfway there to getting the case against Kohberger. either a hung jury or a not guilty verdict.
And there's more, according to the defense.
That there was no DNA or forensic evidence found from the crime scene at the apartment, car, office, or on Bryan Kohberger's person. So they were basically alleging, how could he have committed such a brutal murder and yet have no evidence found on him of that?
A defense filing also claimed the presence of other unidentified male DNA was found on the premises.
3 separate and distinct male DNA profiles were found from the crime scene. 2 were inside the house. 1 was outside on a glove.
Investigating reports of a woman being followed by a man over the weekend. In the first case, the woman was followed by a car described as a blue 4-door Toyota sedan while walking her dog. In the second case, the man followed a woman into the laundry room of her apartment complex and grabbed her arm. She screamed and police say the man took off. Police described the suspect as a white man about 20 years old, wearing a medical mask and a baseball hat.
Pullman police are investigating reports of a man who tried to force himself into the apartment of a young woman he doesn't know. The victim posted her story on Facebook, and it is getting a lot of attention tonight. So much attention, in fact, that Pullman PD addressed it on its own Facebook page.
KREM 2's Amanda Rowley went to Pullman today to learn more about what happened. She is joining us live from the Pullman Police Department. Amanda, what have you learned so far?
I confirmed this afternoon Pullman police are investigating an attempted abduction of a PhD international student at Washington State University. Now, that student is okay, but police are still searching for the suspect. Meantime, students who live near where this incident happened are feeling uneasy tonight.
Recent events on the police over the last few months have understandably put the Pullman community on edge. And now there's even more concern after someone tried to force their way into a WSU student's apartment Friday night.
Oh my gosh, that's scary because it's like right here where I'm living at.
Selena Salou lives a few doors down from where the incident happened. She learned about the attempted abduction in a group chat.
Just to even walk out, to go to your car, just like throw the trash away, it's like scary because it's like you're like now it's like you have to look where you're going and watching like who's like out and stuff because it's like you can't really trust anyone now.
The rest of the community learned about what happened after the victim posted about it online. According to that post, after walking home Friday night, the PhD student noticed a black car parked outside her apartment. She says it was running and the trunk was left open. She got inside the apartment, but when she went to close the door, a man grabbed the door handle and tried forcing himself inside. The post says she had to use her full body weight to close and lock the door. She reported this to police shortly after, and then, out of fear, she left Pullman as soon as she could.
We need the community's help.
Commander Aaron Brashear says officers arrived on scene within minutes and made extra patrols that night, but they did not find the man or the black car. He says the man is described as approximately 5'5" and was seen wearing a green sweatshirt. Police are also searching for a black sedan, possibly a Nissan Altima with faded black paint and no license plates. Right now, officers are investigating all possible leads, talking to neighbors, and asking the community to share any information that may be helpful to the investigation.
Now, today I spoke with that PhD student who reported this incident. She tells me she is glad she's okay and feeling very lucky. In the meantime, just a few hours ago, Pullman police posted on Facebook they are also investigating reports of a suspicious male who's been seen looking into homes on College Hill. Now, to be clear, police say they do not believe this is related to that attempted abduction incident, but we'll keep tracking this story as it develops.